Good morning, students. Last time we had discussed various types of food crops grown in India. In today's class, we will be discussing food crops other than grains grown in India. And not only that, we will also be discussing the various other cash crops or fiber crops also. Like in these photographs also, you can see various crops grown in India except the food crops. Okay, tea, coffee, etc. all are example of that. Now, sugarcane. Sugarcane is tropical as well as subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climate. It requires temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Needs annual rainfall between 75 to 100 centimeter. And it requires irrigation in the areas where low rainfall is there. Manual labor is required for sowing to harvesting. India is the second largest producer of sugarcane and the largest producer of jaggery, khansari and molasses. In this map you can see major sugarcane producing areas of our country. Oilseeds. India is the largest producer of oilseeds in the whole world. It covers around 12% of the total cropped area under these crops. Various major oilseeds produced in our country are groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame, soybean, castor seeds, cotton seeds, linseed, sunflower. Means a large variety of oilseeds are produced in our country. They are used as cooking medium, soaps, cosmetics and ointments. Linseed is a rabi crop. It is very famous nowadays for health point of view. Mustard is also a rabi crop. Sesame is kharif crop in north and rabi crop in South India. Castor seeds, they are also grown both as rabi and kharif crops. Groundnut is a kharif crop and it accounts about half of the major oil seeds produced in our country. These are the major groundnut producing areas. Gujarat is the largest producer. After that, certain parts of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The dark one is the major producing area and lighter one is the minor producing areas. Next is tea. The major beverage crop. It is also a plantation crop. The climate which is required for tea is tropical and subtropical. Warm and moist climate, frost-free climate throughout the year. The type of soil is deep, fertile, well-drained, rich in humus and organic matter, means mountainous soil is good. It requires frequent showers spread out throughout the year and requires rainfall more than 200 centimeter, means heavy rainfall. Requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor for picking up the leaves. Tea producing states in India, here you can see West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya. Major or the largest producer is Assam and from West Bengal, Darjeeling area. They are famous throughout the world for their special aromas. It is produced in small quantity in Tamil Nadu and Kerala also, but they are mainly producing coffee. So we consider them as main coffee producing states. And for tea is Assam, West Bengal, etc. Coffee. India produces about 4% of the world's total coffee. Arabica is a good quality coffee produced in our country and famous for its special aroma. The coffee producing states here you can see they are the Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala, or this triangular type of thing covering 3 states. We can also say it is growing well in Nilgiri Hills area of our country. And that's why the South India is famous for its special coffee. Now, horticulture crops. There are a large variety of horticulture crops like fruits, vegetables, spices, aromatic crops and flower crops. The requirement for these type of crops are good transportation, abundant labor, capital, irrigation, HYB seeds, artificial heating, fertilizers, insecticides and greenhouses. Because it is mainly produced for profit purpose, so most of these are cash crops. Now, horticulture in India, by this photograph only you can see that India produces a large quantity of fruits and vegetables and largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the whole world. 13% of the world's vegetables are produced here. The major one are pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal, potato, etc. It also produces tropical and temperate fruits, for example, mango, which is mainly produced from Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, UP, West Bengal, banana from Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu, grapes from Andhra, Telangana, and Maharashtra, and oranges from Nagpur and Cherrapunji. Nagpur orange is famous throughout the world. Lychee and guava from UP and Bihar, pineapple from Meghalaya, and apple, pear, apricot, and walnut. They are mainly produced in Jammu Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Now, non-food crops. India also produces certain non-food crops, of which we can say the other crops like rubber, jute, cotton, and silk. They are also produced in our country. Here you can see rubber and cotton and jute. Now, geographical requirement for rubber plantation. Let's see what are the major requirement for rubber. It is an equatorial crop. It grows in tropical and subtropical areas. It requires moist and humid climate, heavy rainfall more than 200 centimeter. Temperature also high temperature like more than 25 degrees Celsius. India is the world's 5th largest natural rubber producing country, and the major producing states are Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman Nicobar, and Meghalaya. These are the major rubber producing states of our country. By this pie chart you can see the various uses of natural rubber. More than 60% is used by the auto tires and tubes, and remaining for other industries. Cotton. Cotton is a Rabi Kharif crop. It takes 6 to 8 months to mature. It requires black soil, high temperature, less rainfall and less irrigation, and around 210 frost-free days and bright sunlight. India is the 3rd largest producer of cotton. Now these are the major cotton producing states. Wherever black soil is found, cotton grows well in that soil because it is also called as black cotton soil, best suitable for that. Besides the black cotton soil area, it also is produced in other parts of our country. So in this map easily you can see the cotton producing states of our country. Next is jute, also called as golden fiber. It requires well-drained fertile soil of floodplains, and it is used for making gunny bags, ropes, carpets, etc. These are the major jute producing states of our country. Here you can see it is mainly produced in northeastern states: Assam, Meghalaya, Bihar, West Bengal, and Odisha. Now let's see some facts about Indian agriculture. It is the most important economic sector of our country. It gives 70% of Indian population their livelihood. Around 35% of national income is derived from this sector. It involves almost 2/3 of the Indian workforce, and it also provides raw material for various agro-based industries. Now let's see India's rank in the world in the production of various crops. First in the production of milk, cashew, ginger, tea. Now second in the production of wheat, rice, sugar, and groundnut. Third in the position of tobacco and cotton. Now let's see some problems of Indian agriculture faced by the Indian farmers. We still know that Indian farmers are very backward and power stricken. That's why the various methods used by them are still very traditional or old methods. That's why the major problems faced by our country for farming are burden of high population, less techno-institutional changes, dependency upon monsoon. If good monsoon, good rain, good crops. Otherwise we face lots of problems. We still dependent on natural fertility of the soil, fragmentation of the land holdings because of the law of inheritance. The land keep on dividing among the children, and there are other economic problems also like poverty, debt-stricken farmers, Because of that, they are not able to afford the latest technology for the improvement of the agriculture. Now, agricultural reforms. The government has taken two types of reforms for the improvement of agricultural sector. They are institutional reforms and technological reforms. Let's discuss some institutional reforms like collectivization of land, consolidations of land holdings, or also called as Chakbandi, setting up of cooperatives, abolition of zamindari system, and land reform systems introduced in 1960s and 70s. Some technological reforms are as follows: introduction of various revolutions like green revolution, white revolution, land developmental programs were introduced by the government for the improvement of this sector. Now, the green revolution, it was introduced in around late 60s, or you can say 1967-68. Its major aim was to improve agricultural productivity through the use of more and more latest technology like HIV seeds, pesticides, fertilizers, irrigation, and it was very helpful in multiplying the production of cereals like wheat and rice. Now, white revolution, it started in 1970s, also known as Operation Flood. Its main objective was to create a nationwide milk grid and reduce malpractices by milk traders and merchants. It helped in alleviating poverty and famine levels. And Amul, which was set up, it is an example of this revolution movement only. Now, land developmental programs. Various programs are introduced by the government for the improvement during the 1980s and 1990s. Now, these will include both technical and institutional reforms. Under this, some important steps were taken by the government like crop insurance, establishment of Grameen Bank, cooperative societies, loan facilities through banks at very low interest rates for the farmers. And government has also introduced various schemes, like in this photograph also you can see various credit cards like Kisan credit card, personal accidental insurance scheme. So they were very helpful in improving the agriculture sector and you can say economic condition of the farmers. The special weather bulletins are also telecasted on radio and TV. Minimum support price, remuneration and procurement prices are also being introduced so that they will not be facing problem in selling their crops. Now let's see government efforts to modernize agriculture. Various efforts are being taken by the government for the modernization of agriculture like establishment of ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture and Research. Agricultural universities are set up, veterinary services, animal breeding centers, horticulture developmental areas and development in metrology departments. Not only this, we have also improved the rural infrastructure just to modernize our agriculture sector. Now let's see the contribution of agriculture to our national economy. It is the backbone of Indian economy, one of the largest contributor of India's GDP, and it provides employment and livelihood to 63% of the population directly and